the problem no one could solve. Victor Chen sat in the conference room surrounded by the brightest minds money could hire. 15 engineers, 3 Nobel Prize nominees, 2 decades of combined experience at Fortune 500 companies, and they were stuck. The algorithm is elegant, said Dr. Patricia Wells, VP of Research and Development. But there's a flaw in the logic chain. We've been analyzing it for 6 months. The company loses $2 million a day until we fix it. Victor, at 61, had built Chen Innovations into a $200 billion enterprise. But this problem had humbled him. The software glitch affected millions of users worldwide. The stock was tanking. Investors were calling. "Keep working," he said, though he heard the weariness in his own voice. The late night. Victor stayed late, as he often did these days. The office was quiet, just the hum of computers and the weight of impossible expectations. He made himself a coffee in the break room, needing the quiet moment alone. That's when he heard the voice. "Excuse me, sir. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to disturb you." It was Margaret, the cleaning woman. She'd worked at Chen Innovations for 7 years. Victor had spoken to her perhaps 3 times total. She was holding a printed copy of the algorithm, something from the recycling bin, he realized. Her eyes, behind wire-rimmed glasses, were sharp with intelligence. "I couldn't help but notice," Margaret said hesitantly, "the pattern in this sequence. May I show you something?" Victor, exhausted and desperate, gestured to the table. Margaret pulled out a pen from her pocket and in 30 seconds drew a small diagram. "See here? The problem isn't in this section everyone's examining. It's in the handoff protocol. You're processing data linearly when it should be distributed across 4 parallel streams. The bottleneck isn't in the code, it's in the architecture." Victor stared at the page, then at Margaret. She was watching him nervously, as if she'd said something terribly wrong. "I'm sorry, sir. I probably shouldn't have." "Who are you?" Victor asked quietly. "I'm Margaret Reeves. I clean the offices." "No," Victor said slowly. "Who are you?" The truth unfolds. It took 3 hours and several conversations, but the story emerged. Margaret had earned a PhD in computer science from Stanford. 15 years ago, she'd had a thriving career, until her daughter became ill. Margaret had needed flexible work and health insurance. The cleaning job offered both. She'd made peace with it, she said. Her daughter was healthy now. That was what mattered. "But you have this gift," Victor said, gesturing at her diagram, which had just solved a $200 million problem in seconds. "I have a gift," Margaret agreed calmly. "But I also have contentment. For a long time I was chasing the next promotion, the next title, the next achievement. I was so busy climbing, I missed my daughter's childhood. When she got sick, everything changed. I realized I'd been building the wrong empire." Victor felt something crack open inside him. "Do you regret it?" he asked. "Not a day of it," Margaret said. "Though I'd be lying if I said I didn't miss the work sometimes. The intellectual challenge, but not enough to miss being present for my life." What happened next? The next morning, Victor called an all-hands meeting. He announced Margaret's fix. The stock rallied. The engineers who'd spent 6 months on the problem looked humiliated, but Victor wasn't there for that announcement. Instead, he personally met with Margaret in his office. "I have a proposal," he said. "I want you to lead a new division, advanced problem solving. You'll work 3 days a week, remote if you prefer, competitive salary, full benefits, but more importantly, you'll mentor our teams. You'll help us see what we're missing because we're too close to it." Margaret's eyes widened. "Mr. Chen, there's a condition," Victor continued. "You teach me too, how you found peace with a path that wasn't what you planned. Because I'm 61 years old, Margaret, and I'm not sure I've ever been truly happy. I have everything, and I feel like I have nothing." 6 months later. Margaret stood beside Victor in the company auditorium presenting the new division's innovations. 7 major problems solved, 4 patents filed, 3 solutions that would revolutionize their industry. But the real transformation was quieter. Victor had begun taking Fridays off. He'd started volunteering at a local school, teaching mathematics to underserved kids. He'd called his estranged son and apologized for missing his childhood. They were slowly rebuilding their relationship. "You know what Margaret told me?" Victor said to his leadership team one morning. "She said success isn't a destination. It's a choice we make every day about what matters. Some days it might be solving billion-dollar problems. Some days it might be having coffee with your grandchild." Dr. Wells approached him afterward. "Sir, how did you change so quickly?" Victor smiled. "I had a cleaning woman solve my most important problem, and she did it in 30 seconds because she wasn't carrying the weight of needing to prove anything. She just saw clearly." He paused. "Maybe we should all spend a little time cleaning away what doesn't matter." The epilogue. A year later, Margaret was on the cover of Forbes, the genius who chose meaning over status. But the real story was quieter. Victor and Margaret became partners, not romantic, but intellectual and spiritual companions. They started a scholarship fund for single parents returning to education. They mentored young engineers about life balance, and Victor, for the first time in decades, felt like his life made sense. At Margaret's invitation, he'd attended her daughter's wedding. Seeing the young woman, now a doctor herself, Victor understood what Margaret had known all along. Some empires are built in corner offices. Some are built in living rooms. One day at a time, one person at a time. Both matter, but only one stays with you when everything else is gone. The end. Friends, sometimes we mistake the size of our accomplishments for the quality of our lives. The wisest among us know that genius isn't just about solving problems. It's about knowing which ones truly matter. Look around. What are you missing while you're busy building?